Hello and welcome to CSAP tutorial for beginners. This is Ajit Srivastava and this is part 5 where we'll be learning the string types in CSAP. So if you haven't gone through part 3 and 4, I would recommend you to go to part 3 and 4 where I have discussed about the different types that is available in CSAP. There we have explained like which type is suitable for which scenario and how much memory space it will take. So it would be better if we can go through part 3 and 4, then you come to this part. So basically to start with, what all the things we'll cover in this session. We'll see how to store a string data in a string variable, then what is escape sequence, and how we can use string.format, and what is string builder. So with that, let's directly jump to coding. So I have just created a sample console application. So to declare any string variable, what you have to do is you have to type, as I mentioned in my part 3 and 4, to declare any variable you have to start with type followed by the variable name. So let me give a string variable, okay, equals to, and to store any value into the string, what you have to do is you have to write your string value in double quote. So let's say Ajit, right? So now this Ajit will be stored in string variable, okay. So let me just try to print it to check if it is stored correctly or not. Press F5 to run. So here it is coming as Ajit, right? One thing you can observe here is we have given double quote, then Ajit, then double quote, but that double quote is not included here, right? So basically this double quote indicates that this is a string and the value that will be stored as part of a string will be just Ajit, not the double quote. So let's say there is a scenario where you want to store the double quote as well. How can you do that? Because let's say I want to store Ajit in double quote itself. So if you'll give double quote here, right? So I want to print this character, right? Double quote Ajit and double quote, but you will not be able to do so because two double quotes starting and ending, it treats it as a string. So if you'll see this, C# will treat this selected as a empty string, okay. So how we can have a double quote? So for that we'll use escape sequence, okay. So we'll give this and we'll give a escape sequence character here, which is nothing but this one. So whenever you want to use double quote has to be replaced with this, the slash followed by double quote. So we are instructing C# or a C# compiler that this double quote we want to be as part of our string. So please escape it. Don't treat this as a separate string. Okay. This is the way you can basically add double quote in a string. So if you'll try to run this, you should be able to see Ajit in a double quote. So here you can see Ajit is getting printed in double quote, right? So let's say now let's take another scenario. So let's have a variable string first name. I'm giving Ajit a string last name. I am giving Srivastava, right? And I want to print this. So in previous video session I already told, right, how to concatenate a string, right? So that concatenation you can do using plus operator. So first name plus last name, right? So here plus operator is overloaded for these string variables. So here plus operator will act as a concatenator of these two strings. So if you'll run this program, you should be able to see Ajit Srivastava. So you can see Ajit Srivastava here, right? Now let's say I want to add a space between this. So what you have to do? Ajit, then a simple string and this, right? If you'll run this, you should be able to see Ajit space Srivastava, right? But the problem here is, let's say you want to concatenate so many variables, right? What you have to do is you have to give a, so let's say I want to print like my name is, right, this, then I want to give some space, then this one. So it will simply print my space name space is space first name space last name, right? If we'll print this, it will print whatever we want. My name is Ajit Srivastava, right? But if you'll see, it is not very much readable, correct? You have to just see where we are actually appending plus, where we are appending space and all. So to take care of this, there is something called string format, which we call as a, so we will utilize a placeholder there. So it's string dot format, and here what you can do is just type your string my name is, then you have to give curly braces, so first variable name space curly brackets second variable name. Okay, this will be followed by your values, so first name comma last name. So if you'll see, you can simply understand that what I'm trying to print is my name is followed by some value, again a space followed by some value, and those value you can pass it as a parameter. So in this way you can see that it is more readable compared to previous one, and it will result you, it will give you the result same as whatever we got previously. So if you will run it, you should be able to get my name is Ajit Srivastava, right? So string formatter we use to basically concatenate the strings in a more readable way. Okay, so this is the purpose of string format. Okay, so one thing I wanted to add here is, so whenever you declare a variable, like first name you added, right? So you added Ajit. So how actually it works in during runtime is, it will allocate a memory for this variable and it will store Ajit in that memory, right? Now let's say let me just change this code a bit. I'll say just name equals to blank. Okay, next time what I'll do is name equals name plus Ajit, then I'll say name equals name plus Srivastava, right? And also I'll add name equals, or let's say, let me assign this my name is this. Okay, and I'll simply try to print console dot write line name. So it will again print my name is Ajit Srivastava. There should not be any issue, right? You are able to see Ajit Srivastava. But what is the problem with this approach? So the way it works is, it will as and when it execute this line, what it will do is it will create a variable with name as name, and it will store that information, that this value in that particular variable. Okay, next time if you will try to modify the same variable, it will not modify its content. Okay, what it will do is it will try to create another location, and there it will basically concatenate these two value and store into a new memory location. So every time you try to modify a string variable, that time instead of modifying the memory location, what it will do is it will try to create a variable at different memory location, and then it will copy those data. So that due to that reason, this updation of a string variable is a very costly operation. You will not be able to see this because currently our system is really high configurable, and this is very minimal operation that we are performing. But just assume that we are performing lakhs of operation, right, on a particular string. There you can easily observe those lagging there. Okay, so just keep in mind, whenever you want to use a string variable, you make sure that you don't go ahead and modify the existing string again and again. So your question must be, then how we can work with a string? If I want to modify a particular variable again and again, then what to do? Yes, so for that we have another class called string builder. Don't worry about class and all, I'll explain those things in my future video sessions. But for now, you simply understand, whenever there is a requirement of modifying a particular string again and again, you should never use string. You should always use string builder. How to use a string builder? I'll just demonstrate that. So string builder is inside the namespace called text using system.text. Okay, and how to use a string builder is like this. Just type string builder. Okay, and just give a meaningful name, string, just give any name. Okay, string name equals new string. Okay, so as and when you write this command, it's same like you are typing this string name equals to blank. That means it will internally create a string with value blank. Okay, so how we can basically assign these values the way we have assigned for a string, right? How we can do that? To do so, what you have to do is simply name dot append. Okay, and whatever the string you want to append here, so it's a string, right? So now your name will have this value, my name is. Okay, next time you want to append Ajit, right? So name dot append Ajit. Similarly, name dot append Srivastava. Let's give a space here. Okay, now you want to print it, right? So let me just copy this at the top also, so that will print both. Now you want to print this. Let me just print the name. Just print it. So here you can see we print the name, and you can see whatever the name we have added, you can directly see those values, right? So in this way, string builder will so if you'll see this, string is basically internally it must have created 1 2 3 different variables at 3 different memory location, and with that you are able to get the name, right? But with string builder, it will create only one variable at one memory location, and it will simply use that particular location to have this particular name. If you want to use a string as a constant, that means it is not going to change, then string will be preferable. But if you are going to modify its content, then string builder is much preferable. Okay, so these are the things that I wanted to discuss. So I'll just let's summarize those. Escape sequences are used if you want to have a double quote as a string value. So as I demonstrated, if you want to have a double quote, then you have to pre-append with slash, otherwise compiler will not allow you to just add the double quote there. So string formatting we saw. So string formatting will be used as string.format, and you can just use the placeholder. So whatever the number you will give, it will take the parameter from this side and it will simply replace the values, right? And the last one we saw is string builder. So string builder is a mutable class. So what is mutable means? Mutable means that it will use the same instance or same memory location even if you modify the content, whereas string is a immutable class. Immutable means it will try to, whenever we try to modify the content of a string, it will always create a new instance of it. New instance of it means it will always try to get a new memory location and it will try to delete the previous one. So in that way there is a overhead on our CPU and our memory to have this creation and memory location done. So it's always preferable to use string builder whenever you want to modify a string again and again. Okay, so this is what I had today. If you have any doubts, you can always comment. I'll try to answer all of your question, and please do subscribe my channel. It basically encourages me to create more videos, and also click on bell icon so that whenever I upload any video, you can directly get the notification. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.